every now and then I will hear a description for a horror movie and it will hit just a little bit closer to home. And that's how I felt when I heard about Piggy in 2022. Like, raise your hand if you were bullied in school, whether that was as a child or as a teenager. And keep them hands raised if you were also the fat kid that was bullied in school. Well, that was me. So when I heard about the plot for Piggy, it did raise a few questions in me, because this movie is about what happens if your bullies suddenly disappeared along with all of your problems. Would you tell anybody what happened, or would you keep it to yourself? Now, if you don't know anything about Piggy from 2022, let me quickly fill you in. Sarah is an overweight teen who witnesses a stranger kidnap the clique of girls who bully her on a regular basis. When the police start asking questions, Sarah keeps quiet as she is torn between revealing the truth or protecting the man who saved her from her bullies. If you're new here, I go by Hordes, and if you're not new, welcome back. There has been a sudden influx of you here again, so welcome to all of the new members of the Horde here on my channel. I talk about horror movies here on Mondays and Fridays, and as always, when it comes to watching movies that I have never seen before, I am now going to go and watch this Spanish horror drama off camera. So that way, if you two decide that you want to watch Piggy, nothing will be spoilt for you, because nobody wants to watch a movie that you've just watched somebody else watch from start to finish, because then you'll know exactly what is going to happen, and I keep it spoiler free here on my channel.
I was driving a white van and...
If your bullies took things this far, where they tried to drown you in a pool for simply existing, filmed the entire thing, stole your clothes so you had to walk home in a bikini, I too might be apprehensive about being forthcoming with information about their disappearance, and every single one of them is over the age of 18, so we're talking full-grown adults here who have clearly decided that high school drama needs to come with them when it should have stayed in high school.
It's our burn book.
Let's start with the basic plot. Piggy follows Sarah, who is bullied by 3 local girls in the same village, one of them whom she used to be friends with, and she happens to work in her family's butcher shop. So let's just say there's a reason why she's called Piggy, besides the fact that she is a plus-size girl. After the exact incident that I just mentioned happens at the local pool, Sarah suddenly is free of her burden of her bullies when the local serial killer, who happens to witness the entire event unfold, decides to kidnap the 3 girls that did this thing to Sarah. Now, it is like an unspoken pact between the 2 of them, because Sarah sees him, but she doesn't know his name. He sees her, and they just sort of agree to not say anything about what has happened.
Secret.
The plot focuses on Sarah, who feels alone and isolated, and her parents are completely oblivious. Her younger brother is also twat. Like, let's just throw that there out as well. Like, no child should be allowed to get away with the behaviour that her little brother gets away with. And there is so much more to Piggy that I can't go into. There's layers upon layers upon layers in this plot, and it just continues to like unfold itself as the movie progresses, and you get more and more pulled into what is unfolding. If you have ever been bullied, then Sarah will be incredibly relatable to you, because she is so conflicted about what to do with this information. Like, yes, all of her problems are now gone, but was it actually worth the cost? Even though she has nothing to do with the actual abduction, she just was the final witness. Like, what do you do with this information? Because one of these bullies is vile. She makes Regina George look like Elmo from Sesame Street. Like, that is how vile she is. She's one of those kids that was clearly never told no by her parents and has become a fully entitled adult now.
I'm on my way.
You think at one point that there is going to be a romantic subplot in this, and I'm so pleased to say that this fizzled out, because I think it would have absolutely ruined it for me if this had turned into Stockholm Syndrome. But instead, it's more of a, you helped me and my problems have disappeared and now I feel conflicted kind of way, versus I made your problems disappear and now I think that you deserve a little bit of vengeance for everything that has happened to you. It's that kind of romance. Like, Would it happen under any other circumstance? No, and I'm so glad that there wasn't this let's run away together and live happy and become a serial killer couple kind of vibes. The movie actually keeps its more gory and violent bits for the last 20 minutes, and I think that this is actually a benefit in Piggy because while there are a few little bits like hinted at prior, you have watched Sarah go through everything prior and hold it together until something happens and she sort of implodes. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, it's like a switch gets flipped and it all goes hell for leather into this last 20 minutes where again, I can't describe any of it for spoilers. It's so hard to review this movie, it really is. One little detail though that I love is the fact that there is this like fleshy pastel pink colour subtly put absolutely everywhere, and it is a reference to the fact that Sarah gets called Piggy, and it's the same colour as pig flesh. It is the colour of her bikini, it's the colour of her t-shirt and skirt later on. The Family Butchers also has this like fleshy pink coloured wall. Like, she can't get away from the reference and being called Piggy absolutely anyway. This cruel joke is with her wherever she goes. Piggy is such a hard movie to review because it's one of those movies where it is either going to be incredibly close to home and very relatable, or it is going to be so unrelatable and you're not going to be able to fully connect to the plot of this one. And it is entirely a person-to-person thing. Now, for me, it was relatable and I can really appreciate that. But there is so much that I can't talk about in this one because of the layers and layers and layers that it slowly feeds you. It's like there's messages of self-acceptance, of self-love, there's fat phobia discussions, and like her parents are useless. Like her mum, rather than being like, let's talk about this, the fact that you are being bullied by half the village, like, no, she's like, have a salad and lose weight. Like, oh, like, it's, yeah, I think it's gonna hit home for a lot of people, this one. But in the end, I am actually going to give Piggy from 2022 a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but I do think that it is one of those movies where it would benefit from a second watch down the line because there is so much to take in that I think on a second rewatch, this actually does have potential to go up to a 4-star for me. But one person in this I will never enjoy, and that is Claudia's mum, because she can get in the bin. Like, I understand that your adult child has gone missing, but you lay hands on someone and then not expect them to fight back. Woman, sit down.
Dumpster's here, it's here!
So there you have it, my initial thoughts and my review for my first time watching Piggy from 2022. If you've also seen this movie, I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comments section down below. Is this one you're going to skip, or if this is one that you would be interested in, I will leave a link to justwatch.com in my description bar down below so you can see where it is streaming in your country. If you would like to know every single horror movie that I watch though, not just the ones I talk about here on YouTube, you can also find me over on Instagram and Letterboxd at HordesOfHorror, link in the description as well, where I'm trying to watch 150 horror movies throughout the year, and I'm already on over 100, so good job me. But I will be back on Monday with another solo movie review, and this time it is number 5 in the movies that I wanted to prioritise watching this summer, and it's time for some feel-good zombie love from Korea. So until next time, bye.